At this time, I'll call this meeting of the South Central Pennsylvania Genealogical Society to order. My name is Richard Conkle, and I'm the Society President. And we're very happy to have some people here today with us, mostly members of the board, and hopefully we have some people who are online. And I know this is also, I believe, on Facebook, and you can watch it at a later date. So hopefully some people find this at a later date. Probably many of us, given today's program, especially if you're a new researcher, will find this presentation to be very helpful. At this time, we do not have our secretary. Is anyone reading the minutes? Okay, it looks like maybe our treasurer will read the minutes of the last meeting, and then she'll give the treasurer's report as well.
Okay. Oh, no, I don't. It's a board meeting.
Well, I'll have our treasurer, Margaret Berg, come to the podium, and she can give an approximation of the minutes of the last board meeting, and she give the date and so forth, and then also her treasurer's report. Thank you, Margaret. Just give the date.
Okay. Well, now I'm stuck. Let's do this. Okay, the last meeting was on the 29th of August, 2021 at the York History Center. And the speaker was Aaron McWilliams from the York the Pennsylvania Archives. Right. I don't have the other than the board minutes. So, okay, I'll give the treasurer's report. The balance at September 1st, 2021 was $18,735.82. Receipts for September were membership renewals, $255, a new member of $30. It was a family membership. Donations, $20, and publication sales in the amount of $220.50. There were no disbursements for September, and the cash balance at September 30th was $19,261.32. Membership as of September was 140 members, 2 new members for this year, not renewed, 41. We have 22 life members in amongst the membership and 16 family memberships. That's it.
Thank you, Margaret. We'll have a full minutes from meetings once our secretary is back, and your treasurer's report will be filed for audit. Thank you. At this time, I'll have Nicole Smith, who actually is our speaker, but right now she'll speak to us in her capacity as a librarian and archivist and representative from the York County History Center to fill us in on things that are happening here at the History Center.
Hello, good afternoon. We have a few programs coming up at the History Center. Before that, I just want to thank everyone for coming and everyone online. If you are watching from home and have any questions during this meeting or presentation, please type them in the chat or the comments on Facebook. All of our programs and webinars are being live streamed on the History Center Facebook page and recorded and available on the York County History Center YouTube channel. Announcements: the 2021 Journal of York County Heritage is now available in the gift shop and online. There's a copy on the table over there if you want to take a look before you go. On October 9th, our second Saturday speaker is Jim Abels. He'll be speaking about the history of the Pennsylvania National Guard. October 17th is our annual Oyster Festival. This is going to be a little different this year with food for pickup only, and orders must be pre-made or pre-ordered. October 20th is the Civil War Roundtable. This will be done as a webinar on Zoom. The speaker is Leon Reed, and his program is called No Greater Calamity for the Country, North-South Conflict, Secession, and the Onset of the Civil War. For more information about our programs and to register, please visit yorkhistorycenter.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Does anyone have any other news for the good of the membership? We did have a membership report, right? Did you get that? Okay, good. So at this time, I will introduce our Vice President, Jonathan Stair, who will give us information about future programs and introduce today's speaker.
Thank you, Richard. First of all, I'd like to read a letter we received from last month's speaker, Aaron McWilliams. He says, "Dear SCPGS, thank you for having me as a presenter at your recent monthly meeting. I had a wonderful time discussing the online resources of the Pennsylvania State Archives with your members and attendees. I hope to have the privilege of working with your organization again soon." Well, Aaron, we'll take you up on that offer anytime. So I would also like to thank you for the generous donation of $125 from Pennsylvania State Archives. Your kind donation will help further our mission to acquire, preserve, and make available for study the permanently valuable records of the Commonwealth. So that was from Aaron. Upcoming programs next month, November. That'll be November the 7th, the first Sunday in November. The speaker will be Scott Mingus, who many of you know. He's the proprietor of the Cannonball blog. And his topic will be the churches and chaplains of York County during the Civil War. And then we will not have, as tradition is, we will not have a meeting in December, and our meetings will start up again in January. On January the 2nd, local architect Mark Schermeyer will be discussing the Demple family of architects and their architecture here in York County. And you can go on our website to see the programs for the remainder of the year. I might mention on April the 3rd, we have a special program. Tom Gibson will be talking about the Continental Congress down in the reconstructed York County courthouse building. I think that's what it's called. Anyhow, if you are interested and you have never been in that building, it's a good opportunity to see a program about what went on in that building while we're sitting there. I do want to remind everybody, particularly those who might be watching, that because of the requirements of Zoom, we are now starting our programs at 2:30 rather than 2:15. So you can set your clocks accordingly. Our speaker today is Nicole Smith, who is the Director of Library and Archives here at the York County History Center. She began her time here in 2017 as the Assistant Director, and then she took over with the unfortunate passing of Lila Foreman Shaw. She is a graduate of the American Studies program at Penn State Harrisburg. And when I asked her about an interesting fact that some people don't know about her, she said she spent 6 years in Hawaii, which I had known previously, but had forgotten about. So today, Nicole is going to be talking about the resources here at the York County History Center, so that those of us who aren't familiar with the resources, those of you who might be new to this facility, will have a better understanding of what's available. Nicole.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here. I want to thank the Genealogy Society for asking me to speak. Usually I'm behind the camera. So. Okay. Many of you, especially in this room, are familiar with the History Center intimately and have been here quite a bit longer than myself. But I thought an overview of the resources would be helpful for everyone. If you have any questions during the presentation, please ask. First slide is a fairly recent picture of our reading room. With the closings and reopenings during the pandemic, we did modify our hours. The research library is now open 10 to 4, Tuesday through Saturday. We continue to have socially distanced seating and recommend reservations for that reason. Reservations can be made online or by calling our front desk. The library and archives is free if you have a York County History Center membership. We do offer half-day and full-day options for non-members at $4 and $8. Basic membership for the History Center is $50, $40 for seniors. We do have computers available at the History Center, but we do recommend bringing your own laptop because we have Wi-Fi and you can access ancestry.com or newspapers.com, those kind of subscriptions with your own laptop if you want to. And if you can't visit in person, we do offer research by mail service, which you can order on our website, which is yorkhistorycenter.org. The Library and Archives is an amazing resource for York County genealogy and local history. We have books, documents, photographs, personal papers, business records, scrapbooks, newspapers, maps, and much more. Most of the collections have been donated since the Historical Society began in 1895. If you have family history or photographs at home, please consider donating them or letting us scan them for our files. Just wanted to start with saying that our greatest resource is our volunteers in the library. Many of our daily volunteers do their own genealogy. Some are members of the Genealogy Society, and some are very accomplished genealogists. All of our volunteers are helpful, and we also have a small but knowledgeable staff to help as well. If you're interested in volunteering, please contact us. Right now, we could use a bit more help on Saturdays. The Library and Archives has a reputation for being one of the best genealogy research libraries in our region. We are very grateful for the research and resources the past librarians and volunteers have compiled since the turn of the last century. Resources that you won't find at any other historical societies or archives in our area. To start off with, I'd like to talk about our family files. We actually have files on over 9,000 York County surnames. Some are as small as a single folder, some are quite large. They contain donated genealogy information, research, and clippings for obituaries and marriages. We use a control name and number system so that multiple spellings of a name are all filed together. Brought out along with the family files are vital statistics cards. Each card contains abstracted information about an individual. It's one of the greatest resources that we have and was started by librarians back in the 1930s. Information on these cards includes births, baptisms, marriages, cemetery listings, tax listings, and estate information. Here is a photo of one of the cards as an example. We also have our many compilations that were done by the Historical Society over the years. Related to our family files are our genealogical family reports, which were compiled on 500 of the early families by the Historical Society in the 1930s through the 50s. These are especially useful for the larger, older families. The Historical Society also surveyed the York and Adams County cemeteries in the 1930s, and we have those listings. If you do not know, Adams County was a part of York County until 1800. Our former director, Lila Corman Shaw, also mapped the locations of local York County cemeteries and created an index that's very useful. We have our church registers collection, which are transcribed and were typed by the Historical Society. Some of their original handwritten books are on microfilm. Some of them are in German. Most of these registers were added to the vital statistics cards, thankfully, and are name indexed. Another useful compilation is, well, there's many of them, but I'd like to mention our marriage and death indexes for the York and Hanover newspapers. We have also the Yorktownians in the American Revolution, which are books compiled and indexed by former librarian Henry Young. And these books are primarily transcriptions of Revolutionary War veterans' records and are not published and can only be found at the History Center. Also, the Gibson and Proud Histories of York County are great resources for early veterans, biographies, and militia lists. These can also be found online now. A little bit more about our library. I'd like to start with the South Central Pennsylvania Genealogy Society publications. There are over 80 publications, as most of you are probably familiar. These are available for research and include tax lists, county records, Bible records, and much more. We do have a large collection of published and unpublished family genealogies, which you can see in the picture on the right side. We have over 3,000 of these currently. Other useful resources in the library include city and county directories, high school yearbooks, and lineage books such as DAR, SAR, and other groups. In our regional history section of the library, we have genealogy and history books related to York County communities and surrounding counties and states. Our general history section includes general genealogy, books and periodicals. We also have the Pennsylvania Archives bound volumes, as well as ethnic, denominational, and military regimental histories. Our microfilm collection contains church records, newspapers, deed books, tax and census information, although most of that is now available on Ancestry and Family Search. Here's some examples of some of the books in our library: ethnic histories and regimental histories. Everything in our library collection is keyword searchable using our Past Perfect library catalog. Another wonderful resource that we have are our maps and atlases. Most popular ones are our 1850 map of York City, 1860 county map, and 1876 county atlas. We also have Sanborn insurance maps ranging from 1887 through 1963 updates. We also have hundreds of additional maps available in the archives. Very useful for property research with your genealogy are our Highway land records, books and maps. Very useful for locating early landowners and transactions. These books are published, although a couple are currently out of print, but both are available in our gift shop here at the History Center. We also have original land surveys pictured on the left, which are indexed and photocopied and available for research in the reading room. So a little more about our archives collection. Pretty much everything I've told you about so far is accessible in our reading room, but our archives contains extensive files on any local history topic you can imagine. It's keyword searchable using Past Perfect database, and we have files on individual people, places, events, buildings, churches, organizations, businesses, and more. For genealogy purposes, entering a surname into Past Perfect will bring up anything from original deeds, personal papers, Bible records, and photo albums. We also have oversized genealogy collections that will come up that are too large to keep in the reading room. Here's some examples from the archives. Now, to get into our digital collections, this is an area that we've been working on and will continue to spend a lot of time on to make sure our resources are available digitally and accessible online. We have a public drive on our computers in the library, which has shortcuts to Ancestry, newspapers, Fold3, Family Search, Find a Grave, and many other useful genealogy and local organizational websites. We are recently become a Family Search affiliate, thank you, Lynn, which has allowed us access to many previously locked collections online. Our newspapers.com is available on our computers. It's the library edition for Pennsylvania. And we also have a York County specific site with the Gazette and Daily, Daily Record, and the York Dispatch. We're very excited that we have boxed up and are preparing to ship a lot of our smaller county papers to Ancestry for scanning. And these include a lot of our 19th century newspapers. So that'll be a nice, great to have them keyword searchable for the first time. I imagine that'll probably be early next year that those are available. On our website, which is yorkhistorycenter.org, we have many useful finding aids and databases, which we do continue to add to. If you go to our genealogy page on the website, we just added a searchable surname database. This we're still working on the layout, and but you can actually enter a family name into the database and get the control spelling, number, and any variations in our system. That's exciting. We also have a searchable guide to our family reports and searchable indexes to the highway land records and books. On our military webpage, our most useful is our Dennis Brandt Civil War Veterans database. This has been on there for quite some time. And he is now, we are working closely with Dennis to get access to his updated database, which I believe is going from 3,000 or 4,000 records to over 25,000 records for local and regional Civil War veterans. Recently added to the website are guides to our collections in the archives. Recently, our guide to our African American collections and World War I and II collections. We also have searchable photo databases, including York Streets and Alleys, York County Mills, and Dumpwolf architectural drawings. Here are two images. The one on the top left is our Past Perfect database. I know it's a little hard to see, it's small, but we put in the surname Wolf and just gave you a short list of what came up, including family files, baseball files. There must have been a baseball player named Wolf in prominence, and Boy Scout file, Odd Fellows file, Rotary Club, New York Garden Club. So lots of possibilities just by entering a surname. On the right is an example of our York County History Center webpage, and that's the way the photo catalog looks. The databases, you can see there's a Bible collection, York City Streets and Alleys, and York County postcards pictured there. That's what you'll see when you get into our York County, yorkhistorycenter.org website. I know that was a little short, but I wanted to just finish up there and end by saying that we are moving into a brand new facility in 2023. So please stay tuned for more information about that. And thank you very much. If you have any questions, please let me know. And if any of our volunteers or members in the audience would like to add anything, that would be great too. Yes, Jonathan.
I have several questions.
Yes.
When you say keyword search, you're actually only searching the information that you put in the system about a collection, right? It's not, you're not searching every name that might be in a collection.
When you do a keyword search in our database, you're searching what information has been entered about a collection.
Right. So there could be information about a family or an individual that's in there, but because the name wasn't put into the
Yes.
description, it won't show up.
For instance, not all of our oversized genealogy collections are itemized that extensively. So yeah, there would be collections that would contain information about individuals. The only way it will come up in Past Perfect is if that information was actually entered in the description in the database.
Now, is that Past Perfect program available on the website, or do we have to come in here to see that?
You have to come in here to see most of it. Right now, we only have like small curated collections, which is what you're seeing on the right. So at some point, we hope to have our complete database up on the website, but we're not quite there yet.
My third question, you said about sending newspapers out. You're sending out the originals or just microfilm?
Microfilm copies of our newspapers are going out to the ancestry.
So if the History Center has only original copies, it will not be sent out this time, is that correct?
Right now, Ancestry.com is only interested in microfilm. So if we have it on microfilm, the newspaper, they'll scan it and load it up on our York County site for us, which is great. We do have other things that have not been microfilmed that we need to look into getting those microfilmed for posterity. Hopefully scanned.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Jonathan. Yes.
Can you just suggest some of those that would be sent in?
Yes, I was trying to think of exactly, a lot of them are fairly obscure, but one of them is the York Recorder, which I hear is very helpful. There's a Delta and a couple of small Hanover papers going. Some of these papers are only a couple of decades or even just a couple of years. The York Republican is another example. Yeah, there's about 20 different papers going. I'd have to double check on if Swords-Town is one that we have on the microfilm. It's possible.
You already did the Gazette Daily and all its,
Yes.
and the Dispatch, right? So
Yeah, the
the
last
papers are
3 or 4 years, I believe, is when we were able to send all the Gazette Daily and the Dispatch. Although they still don't have the more recent papers, they only go up to, I believe, 2013 for the Dispatch. The last time I checked, they were trying to arrange with the newspaper company to get more recent PDFs. I'm going to check with them about that because we do get questions about people wanting to look in the last 5 years, and it's a big challenge right now for people.
And you said that's Ancestors, is actually on newspapers.com?
Well, no, neither. Yeah, neither. They cut off.
But who you're sending them to is will
Yes.
appear on newspapers.com, the parent company Ancestry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the question was, I say Ancestry, but do I mean newspapers.com? And the answer is yes. Ancestry is the parent company. But yeah, we send them off to Utah and they'll end up on newspapers.com. Any other questions?
This may be sort of a comment. A lot of the microfilming that was done of records for old church records, that was done at the Historical Society, was done in the 1930s. The copies that are back in the library are rather scratched up, but Family Search, they must have filmed them maybe 1950 or something. I'm not sure when, but they are actual copies that they made that are digitalized that can be accessed on Family Search. So they can be accessed here, but through Family Search, and they're cleaner copies.
I see. So you're saying that some of our early church record microfilms are now available on Family Search?
They've been available through the LDS for a long time, but their
Now
copies
they're
are
online.
cleaner because they weren't as hardly used as they were later.
Okay, good reminder to check Family Search for those early York County church records.
They're not always so easy to find. You sort of have to go into York, Pennsylvania church. I go into them quite often when I'm back here, and it always is a little challenging, but they're there.
It's good, yeah. I'm always amazed at how much we can get on Family Search now for local records. Very good. Anything else from anyone here? Okay, let me see if there's anything online. No questions online. So thank you. I really appreciate it. And thank you for coming today.
Thank you.